How are insurance companies impacted by the black market? Simply put, insurance fraud is a thing. A person, there was a case with a woman, I can't remember her name, of that. There was a case with this woman where she would insure her relatives, then murder them and claim the money. It's not. She was not an isolated incident. I think it's more like a crime that women like. So must be careful if your insurance policy is too good. Must be careful. Your wife's sister, not your wife. Your wife, she loves you. She wants you. She needs you. She knows you're available. Your wife's sister is going to kill you. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But it's possible. So I'm saying be careful um, about diversing, because it could be a price on your head. You think it's an insurance policy for your children that's going to look after your family, but in actual fact, you basically just put a hit on your head by mistake, unwittingly. There's that kind of crime. There is also insurance fraud, where people claim fraudulently, where I claim that there was an injury that didn't really happen, or I claim this car accident happened under these circumstances when I know all well that I was drunk. I crashed this car when I was drunk. Now that I am sober, I'm going to go and claim and say, hey, they crashed my car. Look, I'm claiming now because it's a reasonable time to claim. Then, if the accident wasn't so massive that your car is beyond repair and you ended up in the hospital, you would be people would generally mask the fact that they were under the influence of alcohol. Now, these are normal citizens who just are a sign of moral decay, and they need a little bit of voodoo bokum, a little bit of the Holy Bible in order to get them back in line. Some of them just need to go to jail. But that does happen. The fraud does happen. And then there are also cases where arson is used, where people buy a property, insure that property, um, maybe strip the property down or find a way to make a profit off of the property, but this profit diminishes the property's value, and then they burn the property and claim the items that were in the property and the property's value from the insurer. And the insurer will pay them out without knowing that all the things they listed there actually weren't in the fire. So sometimes investigations do help and you do get found out as a criminal, but people generally do make some money off of that kind of fraudulent claim. They really do rob the insurance companies. That's really bad. Where people don't necessarily insure a lot is their homes, but they do with their businesses, and there are lots of break-ins. Sometimes people who are business owners, you must not become this business owner since you're learning about business. They orchestrate robberies of their own establishments in order to pocket the money of the robbery, as well as which they share with the black market actors that they've hired, as well as on top of that, make a profit off of the fact that they claimed the insurance. So if they have a property that maybe sells fuel, they would then siphon their fuel off maybe half a tank and then maybe destroy their station, or even with the remaining fuel. Get that money, rebuild their station while having made money off of just maybe that tank or all of the stock as well inside the quick store or something of that nature. That's not very common here in South Africa, but we do get petty crimes that do impact property, assets on property, like non-movable assets, that is of a similar nature, just not of that scale. People don't necessarily do it often that they burn the whole building, but they would maybe burn a car, or they would chop shop their car, or they would work with black market elements to steal their car. But in a lot of cases, it's actually just normal theft, and it's a normal claim. It's just that family members were involved in the crime, because it does happen. So yeah, the insurance companies do have a problem with the black market, but they're not the largest. I would say they're not the largest problem. So it's really pretty safe to work in the insurance sector, because people get scammed, not the insurance company, a lot. So they scam you into buying fraudulent insurance. So yeah, rather than finding yourself as an insurer, getting 1,000 billion, million, zillion, trillion claims that mean nothing, and you're constantly investigating and finding fraud. Yeah, sometimes they chocho your employees, which means they give them cool drink. Cool drink meaning bribe. South Africa. It's a movie. That's what Dan Carter says. He says it's a movie.